So we're live as we watch. 13 minutes and counting till the final distribution of EOS tokens is put out into the world. At that point, it will simply be the inflation of the network that will be increasing the supply, and that will be very minimal compared to the billion EOS that was distributed over the course of 350 days. Just a reminder that many of these tokens are share dropping on EOS tokens and EOS token holders. So if you are holding EOS tokens, you can expect some of these tokens to be share dropped on you in the process of everything. So looking forward to see as that moves forward. For now, let's just enjoy the countdown.
Give us a little bit of an update on the apps.
What you doing, Cookie Puss? Well, the EOS Go launch party.
It's trying to get into it. Where it sounds like they're not having a party so much as just like a... Looks like they're bringing on guests.
Party fucking animals there.
I like them. I actually like them. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
Kevin's a pretty fucking good guy.
Right.
The other guys, I don't trust him so much, but that's fine.
You know, the CDX after party.
I wonder who does all their shit.
Some moron.
Because, I mean, like, you would think that we would have all this stuff. It's like they don't pay anybody. How the fuck do they get it done?
I don't know.
It's too late.
Yeah, it's all right.
You don't
We're
have to
changing
ask
the
me
world.
twice.
That's the breaking news. We're changing the world. So.
And actually, I think we have you guys will be on with us here as we cross over this distribution. What is it? The distribution period is ending.
There we go. 276404.
What does your schedule look like tomorrow, JT?
Well, I think it's happening 2:00 my time.
Okay.
2:00 in the afternoon. So, I'll be up here in the morning. We'll get back on the Zoom, and we'll try to, one of the appointed block producers, and get this thing rolling with our hardware. We've had kind of best of breed hardware sitting here in a data center for over a month now, and I'm ready to start actually using it.
Getting a little itchy, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are we've heard a lot of Zoom calls have been happening back and forth all around the community. And you guys, can you give us sort of an in-depth look into what the test nets have been like, what it's been like practicing behind the scenes? Can you give us sort of the vibe, any information you have?
Yeah, sure. No, I think that everybody has been working really well together. It's just you come across bugs and work the problem and report the bug and hope that it gets fixed. But other than that, things have been functioning fairly well, and I'm really excited about how everybody just working together and internationally, across language barrier, across time barrier. Everybody's been talking about no sleep. I think I got 3.5 hours last night. So, wow. And part of that was because I got a kid that's teething.
Oh no. 2 or 3 years old, huh?
No, months, 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah, teething. So.
My daughter's 6, so I guess I forgot that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby, so you're a DApp developer for Luxury Leisure, amongst other things. Can you let us know a little bit about more what you have coming up on the horizon?
Sure. So Luxury Leisure essentially we are promoting blockchain-backed global commerce. So it's, when you say commerce, it's many different functions here. So it's B2B, B2C, and C2C. So making sure our products are authentic from all the way from the origin to supply chain to all the way to the consumer. So making sure that there's single record of provenance. Right now, we have built the MVP. We were Techstars winner here in New York on Hyperledger. And if you look at the architecture of Hyperledger and EOS, the consumer side of decentralized marketplace, we are looking to build on EOS because of essentially no fees. Scalability is there and will be there, and really horizontal vertical scaling. If someone has to pay, let's say, X amount of gas to load and see your marketplace and need tokens, there's a layer of friction. So I think with EOS is amazing for DApp developers and for the community to really be passionate about infrastructure that can handle high throughput, low latency applications, can be deployed and in less than previous iterations. And I think that's a beautiful thing moving forward for the community.
Very good. And so is Luxury Ledger planning to be on EOS?
Yes. So if you go on luxuryledger.io, we are currently using Hyperledger and Ethereum as part of Hyperledger Sawtooth. And we will, if you look at the actual architecture of Hyperledger and EOS, they have similarities where you can actually connect that, because you will want to use different blockchains depending on the use case. So we're using currently Hyperledger for a modular extensible blockchain for enterprise, but for the consumer-facing side of a decentralized marketplace where a consumer-to-consumer transaction can happen, we want to use EOS. So currently we are using, that is the plan as part of the white paper.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's neat. We sent over the link into chat. You guys have a beautiful website, Luxury Ledger, as well. Nice to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great because of the inter-blockchain communication, and the future of blockchains are, I think, a lot of different blockchains will coexist together, and they will be all interoperable. So that is the future. So we really believe in that. We believe in modular, extensible enterprise blockchain, at the same time having a blockchain like EOS that will be more consumer-facing for us, and we can build decentralized marketplace for more of the consumer-to-consumer commerce. So it's all about interoperability, and I think that is the future moving forward.
That's what we've seen Dan too in the chat before. He said it's the key to infinite scalability is what he said, called it. I love that you guys are, and that's the thing is we keep hearing it from everybody we talk to is like, this is the blockchain, right? I mean, the no fees and everything else, easy to develop on. Diving into the security as well, what kind of approaches do you guys prefer, or what I'd love to learn more from you guys basically about security. What do you think about EOS?
I think from a block producer standpoint, we've come from sort of an enterprise background and have applied some, I think, enterprise techniques to security. So we've stayed away from cloud. We're using best-in-class hardware, best-in-class network appliance devices, and we're in data centers. We're owning our own assets. There's a reason why you look at case studies of, say, American Express moving travel services to cloud, but not core transaction processing to cloud. I'm a big believer in owning your assets. So that's one of the approaches that we've taken. JT has really led that that approach and standing that up. From a standpoint of sort of security in EOS in general, I mean, I'm just from almost an academic and professional standpoint, the evolution of and the use of EOS, I think is going to be an interesting security problem, right? The distributed reaction to acute security incidents is something that I'm not sure the world has ever seen, and I'm excited to see it.
That was an interesting way to put it. A distributed. Can you say that again? That was a great line.
I think it's the distributed response to very acute security.
Just chilling in here
is something that I think it's going to be. I'm fascinated by that. I mean, it's going to be cool. It could be a train wreck, but it's going to be cool.
Yeah, we just learned about that one ABP kind of helping get the chain up and whatnot. Have you guys been heavily involved right there with so Ghostbusters test network, I guess? Can you guys just give us more of a background on what you know about the actual launch process itself and how that might look?
Oh, yeah, so we're getting a countdown actually.
That was pretty funny with them kind of jumping the gun on EOS Go before.
The token sale is.
I didn't even. I just took their word for it. I was like,
it's probably closed at this as we speak. Yeah.
Everyone's like,
hey, you guys popping champagne? Who has the champagne?
Everyone took their word for it too. Like,
no champagne.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't need.
I feel totally unprepared.
I kept trying to type in there. I'm like, no.
We're celebrating with you, Kevin and Blue Jay.
Well, actually, an hour ago, we accidentally celebrated a practice run because we had the wrong time.
I'm liking all the tools you guys have been releasing
earlier on.
It's great, man.
This is the good one. This is the real one.
Did you get a chance to test the latest
3,
one?
2.
Well, I mean, you don't have to test it because not everyone. Yeah, but like just like.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. And I also I like the paper wallet thing too. I checked it out too.
That's not water.
For some reason, I think I'm gonna post it again. It got like
wow, congrats guys.
Our post got like shadow banned on like Reddit.
So yeah, big moment. You know, it's been a long year. And, it's been really fun watching. You know, you guys you kind of came out of nowhere, but you've come on very strong. You're down in Puerto Rico, and we talked about yesterday with that boardroom table on the beach was an awesome.
Thinking about another thing now.
It's like, almost sunset. Otherwise, I would show you our view of the Caribbean.
Tokenica released one, but
it was also very touching. And you guys talked about all the issues
like
after the hurricane and
like hard for people
a lot of third
world
issues.
Like a
can you
weird file?
Sort of describe more? I'm not. Well, go ahead, take it away. How
like
would you
it's like a signing tool, so you can just like.
I think we've made a lot of progress in the last 8 months. It's just there was so much to begin with that
you put in the
I don't think people realize
name of the block producers you want to vote for.
Puerto Rico is just a very unique island. I mean, we're a good-sized island. We're not like some of the BVIs or the USVIs. We're a much larger island than they are. But we just had very outdated, older infrastructure. A lot of things.
Yes, I think a lot of this stuff, you know, at least in the first week, probably, you know,
that's
a lot of the token holders might not be
communication was so slow, and I think
background in tech or web or any kind of stuff, so it might be a little bit hesitant on some of these early tools.
2.5 years on the island.
It looks like a standardized, say, wallet or like the voting portal that they're pushing out.
We love being here.
I mean, I There's so much pushback on like scatter.
Take things from being a handwritten ledger to put it on the blockchain is a very exciting opportunity. So, I mean, I think
I guess it's all the same on all the wallets.
That's my perspective on where we are on the island.
How are you guys planning on like voting and stuff?
We're getting there. We're already prepping for next hurricane season.
EOS Portal that they've been updating and just did
what it has reinforced for me personally, just my background in IT. And living through this hurrecane is redundant.
I think he gave you the option for both.
You know, we apply those to our data center, we apply that to our IT. You have backup systems, you have redundancy, and that has been the key lesson learned from hurricanes is you apply the same knowledge, the same lessons from good IT and data, you know, systems, and just we approach the hurricanes and island life the same way.
Anyway. I have a PR plan for my house, so yeah.
Hey guys, we have some breaking news, right, Kevin?
You guys, double breaking news as we're on the air too. Go ahead, Blue Jays. You guys are here for a big moment.
All right.
Yeah. The EOSIO 1.0 code just released, according to Dan on Telegram. The message just popped up.
I guess this must be ready to go. Just
the open source software is out to the world. It's
pretty much. They said they're just doing like translations and stuff now.
Thank you guys for joining us during this big moment.
That's fantastic.
The buttons
we'll try not to cheer again. We don't want to hurt ourselves here.
Go pull that tag and build it.
Build it. I like it. That's JT's line.
Wow.
So yeah.
So how are you guys doing? I mean, you guys are pretty much ready to go,
or give us like your next steps. What do you guys
just waiting
see
for the people to get
the software's out? What do you think will happen next?
Oh, just people to figure out their shit and
now
start with
that
the
we've got it,
politics. I guess they're getting together now. They just did like a release. They're like all gonna work together.
We'll get it built tonight, and we'll probably run our own test net this evening.
The governance stuff that they were working on this morning, is that all
of our nodes? And then we'll get back on it in the morning and see if we're going to have another dry run.
They have the post in the EOS Go Forums, but
I'm assuming that we probably will. That may even
the main contention is Article 15, like how much percentage and like disclosure of like owning BPs.
I think we're all gonna win. I mean, you know.
I've been watching that argument back and forth on the different telegrams.
Well said. I love that you're already.
Yeah, I mean, like
putting it together right now.
My personal opinion is like.
Yeah. Thank you.
Percent is okay.
Wow, right on air.
Like that's
well, thanks
that's
guys
how, like,
for coming on. We're going to be seeing you again tomorrow too, right?
I see globally is like 3%.
Yeah, we haven't signed up for our slot yet, but we will. You can't get rid of us. We'll be back again tomorrow.
When do you have big announcements so we can be sure to be on for those?
I mean, clearly,
pretty high. Like,
well, we didn't know you guys would be on during it. You guys clearly, whenever you happen to come on, is when all the big announcements happen. So why don't you stay on the whole day?
Hey, I planned this stuff on purpose.
10 VPs. I'm not sure that gives you like operational control.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
having Kevin. Thanks, Luke.
Think about that math when people were like leave it at 10%. I'm thinking that 10% of the top 21.
Wow,
man,
I didn't think
we
had to use
decision making
at all, but we used it like 3 times. Well, 2 of the times were real. I think the other time was a joke. So,
no, I think 3 times maybe real. How many times were we?
Okay,
so we got the used it before with the fake snapshot, the practice run.
Yeah, fake snapshot. Yep. That was the one.
And then the
version
real
1.0 just
but we have to use our tools, right? We have to do a dry run.
4 minutes ago.
Dry runs. That's what it is. Yeah. So we're looking at EOS Costa Rica. It's coming up next. We have not met these folks. I'm really excited to meet them, actually. They have one of the coolest logos I think I've seen. You know, they have the chestahedrons in a butterfly.
Okay.
It's really cool. We'll try to put a link to the website on the chat.
Very
have you seen their logo?
I have seen the butterflies, but I have not seen the logo. I think one of the members has the butterflies in their Telegram logo. So
the memes that I made months ago live on.
Yeah.
So they're coming on shortly, and we've not been to Costa Rica yet or talked to anyone from
memes
Costa
never
Rica.
die.
This will be our first.
They get recycled.
Code the EOSIO 1.0 is out, Blue Jays. Congratulations!
Right.
And it's been a long ride. I'm sure the Block One team right now they are soaking themselves, champagne flying everywhere. What are we seeing right now in the Block One offices?
So I did get a ping from Greg Lee, and they said they're watching us at the Block One offices, and their code is live.
Broke the news to Telegram.
Well, congratulations, guys! Thank you very much for your hard work too. Just want to say that.
Yeah. Thanks everyone over at Block One.
Code is live. Hey, Hey guys, Edgar and Rodrigo.
Hi, how's it going?
Doing well. Yeah, there's the logo. I love that logo.
There it is.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
How's it going, man?
If you have the YouTube turned on, you may have to mute it because there's there's the other one. Nice. Yeah. You may have to mute your YouTube because it has a bit of a delay, so it'll give you feedback.
He's inviting people to Discord. Not here.
And Xavier as well. Great to meet you guys. Oh, that's Xavier. Okay, there. Hey guys. Yeah. Good. Great to meet you. Yeah, first time we've met you.
Yeah, awesome to be on here and to be part of this thing you guys are doing. We've been following, and it's been a great experience to stay up to date with the EOS community. So thank you for making space for everyone.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on. And what did we see? What was that? A beer?
This is, we're having a coffee party.
Coffee.
And
Coffee
tradition.
We should like with like a $4 billion ICO. We should like pool some money and like done like
or something, and it's got like some foam on it. And
nice.
I got one of those for the
like in 23 hours.
So you're gearing up.
Listen while working away.
What's up, everybody? We're getting into a good moment, aren't we? Hey!
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yet again, I have a 4-year-old in the background screaming at me. But we've got some good stuff going on. It just finished up. They dropped, it looks like, the code for EOS 1.0.
Yep.
So they synced it with the end of the token sale.
Let's see here. I'm pulling it up. So you guys see it? EOSIO 1.0 posted 8 minutes ago. Release notes since dawn 4.2. Okay, so starting out with the bug bounty, which drove significant attention. Yeah, we know about that. There's a bounty for people who find bugs. They will be rewarded. Whitelisting and blacklisting of contracts due to security issues. This is great. So that's ready. Out of process block signing private keys. Interesting. Experimental. We'll see what bugs come up from that. Other notable updates require wallet password when revealing private keys. That's a positive. Expose runtime options in the producer API plugin. Genesis JSON option no longer supported. Okay, so it looks like a basic launch of what they're doing here. Then they have, of course, pull requests and issues for anybody who wants to start participating and posting to this. You can discuss it right here within GitHub with the development. So, Syed, you are here. Do you want to talk at all about the registration that you guys are going to be offering? Because we've been talking a little bit about the registration and reminding people that it's important to do registration. But you have, I believe that EOS Cafe and you guys work together to do EOS Key, right?
Mm-hmm. We have, we just released EOSKey.io. I mean, it's not fully relevant until another 23 hours, but if you forget to register, what it does is default the Here, I'll put the link to the fallback registration here too. The fallback, to do the snapshot after the chain is frozen in 23 hours. Registered, it converts your public key to an EOS public key. So the way that you would get the EOS private key is by converting your Ethereum private key to the EOS private key. And that's what the tool does. You pretty much just put in your offline, run it on another computer if you want to, no internet, anything. Just put in your Ethereum private key, and then it'll convert it to the EOS private key. Of an EOS key pair that has the EOS that you forgot to register or couldn't register for whatever reason.
Well,
other tool. Sorry, it's cutting you off. We also have other tools that we released before bundled with it. Generating keys if you want new set of keys. Getting your public key from your private key. Other stuff like that.
So now this is one of the reasons why nobody has to worry about actually being losing their tokens as long as they've had a transaction, or is this not going to even require a transaction?
That's the fallback thing about Ethereum is not your public key. Like that's different from EOS. Like, well, I guess in EOS the address would be your account, but in Ethereum your address is not your public key. So the only way for someone to find out your public key is if you had a transaction before. No way to do a fallback if you've never made a transaction.
Exactly. There's no transaction to fall back on, is essentially what you're saying. Oh, sounds like Saeed is getting kicked off. You might have some... Does anybody else hear him?
I did it. Yeah, he's there.
Well, we are certainly sitting at the end of the year-long drive that EOS had. Jeez. So crazy. So now it begins. They've launched they've got the code. That code is going to start being used to spin up chains, and we're going to start having registration of all these that if they've been accomplished, and then you're going to be able to start voting, which would be, of course, I'll show you guys EOS Portal. And they'll be able to vote for you guys too, Saeed, right? Directly on EOS Portal.
Yes, on pretty much that's on that chain. You can vote for them.
Looks like there's one chain already on there.
The testnet? That's just running a testnet.
Testnet, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. There were two the other day.
Over on EOS Go, they were talking about it too. They had two different ones, and then the main testnet is where they dropped everybody in there to test it.
Well, it looks like it's filling up pretty quick. When did they drop this? EOS Medi, there's EOS DAC. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Click on there. Obviously, it doesn't let us vote yet. I wonder if there's going to be a button in here. Just lets you vote directly from here.
On the right side, there was a button. Warning, they disabled that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. So it's just not enabled because you can't vote yet.
I guess as soon as the main chain goes up, the button will come back. The chain or chains.
Got a lot of serious teams out there now getting ready to work on this. So it's coming in the next few days. This week's going to be interesting, guys. I'm seeing if I can... It's a party crasher. No.
And of course, was as expected, the gateways for EOS and EOS DApp tokens on Open Ledger have been closed. They'll reopen after the mainnet.
So, no transferring out of EOS OPEN.EOS, and that means that they are preparing to redeem people's EOS.
And I think all the other exchanges that were honoring the one-to-one have also closed their gateways as well.
Well,
from
so
lockdown.
It begins, man. We've been invited to join up with the EOS Go's launch party too. I might actually join up there and live stream talking to them as well. Man. Oh shit, that's basically what I've been looking at too. So we've got, my gosh, ratio is 40.
No. For scattered, everyone's getting 40. Anyone who's holding EOS, every registered wallet or whatever or address will get 40. Doing in June.
I'm saying it, but I think
so it's pretty cool.
That's changed quite a bit.
Month.
Yeah, they decided, I think, that they're going to somehow introduce mining into it too. So I think that the distribution kind of got changed a little bit because of that. Man, it's a lot of different free tokens.
And we have to think too; those are just on the current dApps that were announced before EOS even became live. Yeah.
So before even the hackathons.
So we got plenty more coming. Picking out some of the different wallets, like even I think it was Meet One, which is I think it's mostly Chinese though, but a lot of these mobile wallets and some of these other ones that are coming out are actually going to not just have your wallet for EOS, but they're going to show the tokens for all the dApps and sidechains that are linked to it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so I was checking that out, and I thought that was really cool. That one was one that I was looking at earlier today.
Yeah, you're going to start being able to see, like, that's why I'm saying, like, you're going to see chains that are going to be popping up that are not going to be EOS specific, like, like, they're going to have, like, certain niches that they cover. And they'll be in a great position to be able to sidechain. It's not going to hurt anything.
And it'll be great to have everything almost like you have in your Ethereum wallet, where you'll see all the side tokens, so you'll see all these other tokens that are being dropped on these chains right there in one place. It'll be great.
Yeah, I think showing people that is one of the biggest things that we need to move forward doing. If we can let people know moving forward about the share drops every week, that's going to be one of the big ones. Maybe we start doing bounties and just giving EOS bits to people who find the share drops on us and bring them to us. Because I think that's where we need to start really moving forward. Like, we have the ability now to start getting people to do share drops and rewarding them for it. So we should do it. So maybe we start a weekly bounty. What do you think, PP?
That's cool. And also bringing the voting portals and wallets to the forefront too.
Yeah, the voting portal's absolutely necessary. I think the wallets will be another big one too, because you want to make sure, like, we want to make sure that there are wallets that people use that they don't lose all their money from
kind of
being
reputation, credibility. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the share drops rather.
What up, guys?
What's up?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, I just saw 10 minutes ago that they posted that it went live 1.0 on the GitHub.
Yep, happy end of distribution day.
Sir.
This is the shit right here, man. We've been through it a few times now, Paramike. Been through a few share drops, but this is going to be one of the most interesting to date, if not the.
Yep, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Well, it looks like the forums are back up. That's a positive. Steam chain has had some problems with our forums. Or our forums have had some problems with the Steam chain. Maybe it's a better way of saying it. So is everybody here registered? Six is better than 0. Good idea. Keeping them on BitShares keeps them safe.
Yeah, I mean, that's something too, for like, even over in the Whaleshares Discord and stuff, when I talk to people, I just let them know that, you have the choice to move them. If you move them, you're in on the share drops, at least the ones that are using the Genesis snapshot. If not, you leave them on the decks and you have them,
Yeah, I've in my historically, in my experience, that people don't care. They'll still blame you. But we'll see what happens. I don't think that we're going to lose out on. We're going to have a lot of mess ups that can't, at least mess ups that can't be fixed, right? Kind of like how Saeed and them have that stuff and have the option to do it after the fact.
Right.
Which is a pretty big deal.
I mean, for just leaving them on open ledger versus moving them to Ethereum.
Yeah, that's true too.
I moved mine. I know that Ronnie said he and his team was going to take care of it for us, but I just wanted to be on the safe side.
Once they allowed the drop to happen for EOS DAC, they didn't Ronnie and the team over there didn't announce that they were going to honor any of the other ones. So just based on that, I'm like, I'd rather just, move mine over there so I can catch whatever drops are going to come out, because they didn't have reassurance that they were going to honor the other drops. So.
Yeah, that's one thing that people need to be very concerned about and be careful about as they move forward. Like, you hold your tokens on an exchange, even if that exchange redeems your EOS, there might be like hundreds of other share drops that they redeem for you and take your tokens because you had them on another exchange. So that's something to keep in mind, whether if you don't care about it, then that's fine too, of course. But in the case that you don't want somebody taking those tokens and you want to have them for yourself because they are technically yours, then it's probably a good idea to take those off of exchanges. Yeah, share drops equal airdrops, Fractal. We always call them share drops because it seemed like it made more sense to share with people, as opposed to, because it wasn't really a war, we're not really in a war sending. Yeah, airdrops is army stuff, exactly.
My tokens.
Trying to bring like a lighter element, like a less warfare related element to it, if that makes sense.
It used to really confuse me when I first entered the crypto space because nobody explained either to me. And I was like, what are they talking about? And then I was like, wait, is that the same thing?
Yeah, that's because nobody wanted anybody to know what airdrops and share drops were about for a while. They wanted you to buy into everything with Bitcoin.
You definitely taught me the way. I think either the second or third time that I came to BitShares and Whale Tank Hangouts. That's when I first heard the term.
That came from
the stock market.
Huh?
In the economic stock market, you also have share drops, right? Or yeah, share drops. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. I think that they've tried to do that stuff in the stock market, but there are certain things that you can and can't do. But I'm not positive, to be fair.
Yeah, if you have a split or something and there's another company involved, you can get those stocks as well. And it's called different, though. Check it out.
Check out what? Can you provide a link?
What the name was. Yeah, share drops. Yeah.
Oh, what we need is, I think we have there, not us, but there is one out there. An EOS airdrops site. Let me find out where that was.
In the list? Yeah, here.
I was going to say I grabbed it out of here and dropped it somewhere last night, but I'll have to go dig.
EOS drops, is that what it is? Here we go.
Remember that list is in the room with us here. Lines up with this list. I went back and sorted them out and put the information.
They definitely should put the percentage in there.
The question mark is the surprise element.
Do some more work.
Yeah, the question mark is always the price element, but the thing is, it's like, as we move forward, man, I don't know anything that's going to be able to compete with EOS other than potentially other delegated proof-of-stake chains. And even that is going to be a pretty hard one.
So the Genesis snapshot would be the one they're taking tomorrow, correct?
Yep. So congratulations, peeps. You're sitting here waiting and watching as we now end the distribution period. No more money coming in from Block 1. Block 1 has received all the funds for their software. They have open sourced their software and made it available for everyone after the funding period was finished, and now it's into the community's hands and the hands of Dan Larimer, who is building dApps that other people are not even probably aware of yet. So not only are we going to have other dApps that we see on that list, but we're going to have some Larimer dApps too.
Yeah, I don't remember where the I don't remember the link that showed all the past distribution cycles. There was a list that used to tell you that how much was contributed to each one. I forget what that link was, but I know on the last
EOScan.io.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Cycle, it was pushing 39,000 ether for that last cycle.
Out apparently.
Crazy.
Everyone was checking it.
Didn't they end up with like $4.1 billion or something? I think I read that yesterday.
It's pretty.
A whole year, people. A whole year.
Internal server error on EOS scan. Are you guys getting that?
Yeah, they can't handle it. There's too many people checking.
Probably. They're basically getting DDoSed for real right now by real people.
Hey, so is there no live talk? Like, hey, why are you not live streaming, Fuzzy? Or are you?
Are streaming. I put the link in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you should join up and chill with me, dude.
Like
be live streaming.
Yeah, but you are live stream right now, right?
You're live stream.
You're live stream. Yeah. Cool.
Silly man.
So is it booting already, or yeah?
No,
like,
it's the snapshot. Yeah. So EOS scan, is EOS scan working for any of you guys?
So I had some EOS on GDEX, and I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't transfer it, like, I don't know, 2 days before, but yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like the final sale day is, the price is at $12.34. Which is,
you know how much I wanted to have like $100,000 and put it in the US.
Oh yeah, sure.
But I think like the price will drop a bit because the dApps will probably not be working right away. But if there's some cool stuff and some momentum, then wow, who knows? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. There have been a lot of people building stuff on testnets already, so.
All right, yeah, cool. But
we'll see.
It for sure won't work. Like it's nearly, you know, obvious that. Yeah. Well, that's my opinion, of course.
Well, they made $24 million on the final day.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, that's not. Wait, like wasn't it like 40 ether like every day the last times, like
40,000 somewhere around there,
or 40,000 ether? Yeah, let me count how much it is now.
So today essentially had a little bit more than the average, probably actually around the average, at least for what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so it's still at $12 or something.
The last couple rounds was like full price.
Yeah, not bad ending though. Not at all.
So huge.
Yeah, I think like
huh?
I think like the market will decide when there's a DApp and it's really cool, then it will go. It will go up, I'm sure.
Well, what I'm waiting for is Crypto Puppies. It scales. It goes viral. And then the Crypto Kitties people say, we're going to go to Crypto Kitties. And we're going to bring it to, or we're going to take our Crypto Kitties rather to EOS. And at that point, we will buy Crypto Kitties and we will make sure that they mate and reproduce and sell them all over the world to people.
I was thinking today that we could like build Telegram, you know,
or Tinder.
Have, like
Tinder.
Tinder. There you go.
Anything.
Always match, always.
That would work.
Well, I think it's more difficult. Like Telegram is already like working, and well, what would you gain with being decentralized, right? But
well, decentralized tipping on Tinder.
Well, like hookers.
What are you talking about? No.
Oh, why not?
Tinder's used for all kinds of stuff that's not sensual.
I don't know. I've never used it, so.
Me either. That's just what my little brother tells me. It's exactly
how
he tells it to me. I actually sound a lot like you whenever I'm talking about Tinder.
Like a hookup joint.
I'm like, what? What? You actually go on that site? I'm not gonna lie though, those are the types of things, the use cases that could make things like this really big.
I like if it's about dating sites, I have even spoken with people who use artificial intelligence, and they just didn't want to expand to different countries. They were like happy in Holland, and they had such a cool dating site where you couldn't see each other. It still works, of course, and the picture will unblur the more you write with each other. Like, isn't that wonderful? You know, I love that.
That's a great idea. It's a secret
life
or something.
Yeah, so you really know, you understand each other, and then it's like real time, and yeah, I love it. And it's all like based on the web, no flash, no bullshit. It's just real time chat.
That must be a nightmare for shallow people.
Or the peak room in Amsterdam. Peak party. Not familiar with?
No, me not.
Yeah, in Amsterdam, you know, at the Volle. You have this cabin, and it's all
peak,
the cabins
peak
are
room,
around
like peaking, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No.
Yeah, but they can see you as well, right?
No, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was checking out, you know, just for fun.
You were checking it. Cool.
You know, on the other side, I saw the window going up, and I saw the other guy.
Oh, you saw the other guys? All right, of course. It's like from the movies, right? All right.
That's super expensive.
Yeah, really. That's so funny.
Peep show, yeah, peep show.
Peep show, yeah, peep show. Yeah. So it's like for us, it's like in the middle of the night. So maybe that's why we are like not suitable for work, right?
No, that's because you're drunk.
Maybe as well.
Ah, funny guy.
Where you live now?
I still live in the same flat, but I have some friends over from Holland, and they went to sleep. And I was just talking with a girlfriend in Guatemala, and yeah, we just said like I really have to go there. It's like so cool, and it's a nice chick. So now it's official. Oh shit.
Can she cook? Can she?
Yeah, she was just saying like, yeah, you don't have to worry about food, about anything, you know. And she's a veterinarian. She's like a doctor, and she's really, really smart. And we talked also about the vaccines, and she's also like using it, but she knows there are some drawbacks and stuff. And she's really open-minded. That's like cool. And I said like, I want to see the rainforest, man. I want to go to the rainforest, you know, and try some herbs like ayahuasca or something, you know. So I don't know.
Well, called?
But we should talk about EOS, right? So maybe we can, like, I said to her, like, I was explaining EOS to her, and I said, like, you know, what's cool is that because she didn't know about CryptoKitties, and I sent her the GIF, the animation, like the Ethereum crumbling with the CryptoKitties. I didn't see that, so I forwarded to her, and she was like, "Yeah, always the cats." And she didn't know about CryptoKitties, right? So that was kind of funny. And so I said, like, yeah, you know, like how I explained what is like a decentralized internet. You know? Yeah, you could send me cocaine, and I would send you cryptocurrency. Like that was the first thing, like Silk Road, and then just like.
It was at that point in time you knew that you would get along with this girl.
Well, it's like, you know, we were just joking because I'd like a girl to smoke weed. Yeah, I think like smoking weed is like kind of like a basic, you know,
human right.
Yeah, it's like if somebody never smoked weed and has never tried anything, then it's like, yeah, probably boring people.
I disagree though.
Yeah, really? You never smoked weed, huh?
Gosh. It's so common. It's
of course. So that's why. Yeah.
It's just like a cigarette. Strange.
But it's like expanding. Well, no, it's expanding your mind. Like it does expand your mind. That's for sure, right? That's the whole war on drugs. It's just a bullshit. It's like, you know, that's why we build things like EOS to experience something new, to experience something great, to be free, and to do limitless commerce. You know, without
marijuana, you know. I've told you my uncle has leukemia, right? And he is using marijuana. He makes the oil himself, the rice oil, and it works. You know, it's not getting worse. So
yeah. Yeah, I even gave it to my daughter. Like, she had ADHD and she was like really, we couldn't handle her, and she really improved. And I was not expecting it at all.
Concentration camp.
What?
Yeah, somebody with ADHD, they can't concentrate well, right? So
yeah.
To concentration camp.
Concentration camp. Oh my god, that's a bad joke. That's evil, but it's funny. So Fuzzy, where's your smoke voice? Yep.
Where's my smoke voice? Where's my smoke voice?
Yeah, singing some nice tune, like you know, like
sing it in a smoking voice.
Some smoking voice, baby.
What's that guy's name from Jackass? The one who sounds like he smokes.
Johnny Knoxville.
Well, no. It's the one who sounds like he smokes like 8 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, like me. Exactly. Like that's people always used to call me that guy. I forget his name though. He was the crazy one too. As though all of them weren't batshit crazy, but yeah, it looks like, speaking of the smoke thing here, the smoke network's coming out coming months.
Yeah, actually that was the first ICO, and my brother said like, hey, should we do it? And I said, yeah, it really feels good, let's do it. So I went, like, I said like, hey, I can send it for you, give me the address. He sent it through Telegram, and I was like, yeah, it's like nobody knows this because Telegram is like anonymous, and we were talking about like it has great voice quality, right? And it works really great. And I just sent from BitShares, but there was something with the fees, you know. It's always like Ethereum with the fees. You know, you send something and then it just doesn't arrive because of the gas, or I don't know. It's like always a drag with BitShares. I don't know why. So it was like, then I sent some more, right? So it was like, okay, but it worked, and so we're participated, and I can't wait like to start blogging, because the medical cannabis, like I just have some oil and I gave it to my friends because it's great stuff. You know, it's like you just drop it in your mouth and you don't have to smoke anything, and it's like it's working like for the whole day, and you can be like slightly happy for the whole day, or you can take more and really use it for, I don't know, like I'm just testing it. So.
Well, it works for a lot of people. It was one of the chains that they were going to be on EOS. I was really looking forward to them being on EOS.
Yeah, I think they will come.
I don't know. I don't know that EOS is interested in having that type of stuff, to be fair, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. But it did seem like the Telegram group was not a big fan. Of course, Dan did come out and say that he reinstated them in the Telegram and everything. But by that point in time, the team was a little bit frustrated about it, so we weren't sure. I mean, when you think about it, you know, it's something like when you're building communities like that guy does, you're used to seeing, you know, being bashed by various places, and then you go into cryptocurrency looking for no problems, like people who will understand and agree, and you find, yeah, there are a lot more of them who do in cryptocurrency, but still, there's a lot of them who don't, you know.
So does anybody else listen or hear this wobble in your voice, of Fuzzy? Like
he's crackling up a bit. But
yeah.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. Okay. Like it's this Wi-Fi antenna which can go 5.
Optics. What's up, Sophia's? It's okay, buddy. We keep doing our thing every week for multiple communities because we're fucking weird. How about you? How's everything going with you? Well, then you found yourself in the right place. Go figure. Any updates on what you're doing? It's going, buddy. Yeah, one of my fears was that nobody, like, for some odd reason, there wouldn't be enough buying on the final day. And one of the, like, hopes that I had that there would be too much, you know, people would be going crazy trying to buy in, and it would pump the price. But it seemed like we found the middle ground, which is actually probably in the end better and for everybody. But it did end up pretty well, I think, guys. Like, I think this year has gone pretty well. They have the code out now. There are people who've been building and running on live test nets. Well, we've got a bunch of different share drops coming, so I don't think that we have to worry too much. I think once people realize that share drops are going to become a huge thing for this token, just for any token that becomes easily share dropped, right? I mean, let's see. How many are there right here? Yeah. Well, it looks like 15 of them that are going to be dropping on us. 15 of them. Yep. I would quote you all the time. What if somebody quotes you with something that you didn't say? Fake news. I don't know. It's on a blockchain. So is it now fake or is it extra real? Well, I really look forward to the quote DApp that you're going to make, and I intend to make many quotes in your name on the blockchain. Just saying. This is going to be fun, trust me. Where's Fuzzy? Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Heck yeah, man. I would love to. This is an extenuating circumstance. I mean, let's face it. How could I not want to get on here at least for this period of time? Just at the very least, just for this one, like for that 1 hour. You know, I mean, we're sitting here. This is the day that a year has passed. Like 350 days. We're you know what I mean. That the distribution is now over. Now we get to move out of the FUD stage where everybody's saying there's no product. There's now a product. Distribution is over. That means that all of the inflation FUD goes a lot, it loses a lot of its wind, right? It loses a lot of its hot air. So it's just good things all around. And we're now going to actually have things that are going to be coming out that people can play and test around with and use. And these first dApps are just going to start people who, new people who want to build dApps into saying, maybe I can build a dApp on here. And it's only going to take one out of, these dApps to become a CryptoKitties type of viral, and the actual chain doesn't buckle and half die on us before I think we need to have a parachute for as far as the rocket's going to take us up. Because I think it's going to go, it makes me very bullish to see all this stuff falling in place like it is. Well, I don't have any of those things to worry about, so I don't know why you keep saying you, but that's what I was going to say. Let the quote battles begin, huh? Now everybody knows your plan's nut. It was kind of like whenever I was talking about Project Milkbox and somebody said, how do you know that somebody's not just going to keep abducting children and saying that they found them so they can get the bounties? I was like, well, if you're doing that on a blockchain, you're one of the dumbest people I've ever met. Eventually it's going to be figured out, buddy. You could ID your child, right? I don't know why you would need all those things to find somebody who's missing, but no, I don't think that there will be anything wrong with passing information. It'll be up to the person who's trying to find the person, you know what I mean? What's up? You mean to sell stuff for tokens? I personally like the idea of a 3D printer that a group like maker shops is what I call them, where essentially like every community has a shop where you can go and build stuff or use power tools that you need, and a 3D printer could be one of them. And if the community collectively owns those, then you have a pretty good opportunity to work on things that you need in the community and keep it kept, right? I think that, especially merging cryptocurrency with 3D printing, oh man, I think you're going to see some wonderful things come out of that sector. I think that's one of the areas I'm going to like to dig into whenever I get the opportunity. And another one is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a guy named Aubrey de Grey, but he looks into something called longevity. He believes and theorizes that aging is actually an illness, and it's just that it accumulates toxins and problems accumulate in your body to a degree where you eventually can no longer handle it, and it just starts overrunning you. That's when you get older. That's when you start smelling like medicine, and that's when you disappear from the planet, or your soul apparently does. And he's saying that you can essentially rejuvenate and kind of take care of the human body much like you would a car or another mechanical instrument that needs to be maintained and damage fixed. And cryptocurrency is one of the big places where he's actually interested. So that's something I'm very interested in connecting him up with too, because he said that he got a lot of tokens from Ethereum people and from crypto in general. So, hey guys, 5/8. That's some of it. That's one part of it. That's definitely one part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, well, basically, yeah, it's interesting how, like, he's awesome. But the thing is, it's funny, he's a programmer who ended up going into this field because he said that nobody else is working on it, and he thinks it's the most damn important thing that we could be working on, and I tend to agree. And I think that cryptocurrency was the way for us to, I mean, now that I've met Dan, learned about mutual aid societies, I have people who understand it too around me all the time, people who can build them. I say, why don't we reach out to people who need mutual aid societies, right? Who need to be able to reward people who want to create extra value and bring extra value. And somebody like Aubrey, imagine him having a mutual aid society chain to reward people who are doing research for him worldwide. Like, He believes that there's a 50-50 chance that people under 50 today will be able to live to the age of 1,000. Personally, I would love to live as long as an elf, because I always thought that if I could live as long as an elf, maybe I wouldn't be so dumb. But, depends. No, he was saying that you'd be essentially able to live for 1,000 years and keep your body looking like it was when it was 20. So like, and he truly like seems like he's very positive about this. Like he's highly confident that it's something that they can do. And I think that we're at a point where it's like the new, what do you want to call it? The new Renaissance, I'd say, right? We're at another one of those revolutionary periods in history where all these technologies are going to start flooding in and disrupting everything. And cryptocurrency is going to be the economic underpinnings to a lot of that stuff. So get ready, because they're not going to be able to hold on to all that innovation as easily. The cultify the what rocks? Did somebody type it? Oh. Counterfeit rocks? Why would you go doing that? Oh, drugs. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's some dangerous stuff right there. A lot of that stuff's coming from China, you're saying? Because that sucks. I always thought that would be a good thing for the country. It's pretty bad then, though, huh? Well, that's just another thing the blockchain can help with. Yeah. I like the mutual aid stuff too, and the insurance stacks. I love the fact that you can have something that can self-sustain based on people who want to build value. You know what I mean? Like, you join up, you put your tokens where your mouth is, and you work. And congratulations, in the end, your tokens are worth a lot more. You walk away realizing that you're worth a lot more, and everybody wins. It's like, what? That's what's possible right now, and we're still using the Federal Reserve. You know what I mean? Well, what's crazy, what's double crazy is they're stealing your value, and the only way that they can steal your value is because they're willing to go into your house. And with guns, if you're not willing to pay taxes in the funds that they're printing. So they're literally screwing you twice. And we have technology that you can hold tokens in it, and essentially it's like, okay, so the Federal Reserve is owned by a bunch of very wealthy people, not democratically elected by the people, and it prints money for us and lends it at interest. Why do we need that when we can hold tokens, transparently represent ourselves based on how many tokens we want to have in the ecosystem, or go to another ecosystem and represent that one? You know, when you have options, why do you need the shittiest option, right? Yep. We are in those times, gentlemen and gentlewomen. All right, well, 7:15, my wife is going to want me to get a couple things done, so I'm going to be stepping away for a little bit, but I'll be back on. I'm going to be launching and talking on EOS Go 2 tonight. If you guys are going to be around and you want to chill with me, I'm going to be on here for a little bit tonight myself, but I do have to get some stuff done with the family real quick. But I did want to be on here while we were talking about the end of the distribution period. I want to get you guys all talking, and definitely Cephios, we could talk behind the scenes too, man. Feel free to PM me. Well, thanks for joining up, guys. Make sure to go over and check out EOS Go. They're doing some stuff too. I'm going to be trying to live stream from there tonight as well a little bit. Maybe talk to everybody and say hi to them. We help them and have helped them over time, but we also, you know, kind of are not directly just EOS related. So try to help the people who are specifically EOS related while we're trying to build Voltron. And I appreciate all you guys seeing the value of Voltron, and I look forward to showing you guys the shirt that I'm going to be wearing with Voltron at the upcoming conference. Boom. Well, it seems like that's when they're going to be that should be when the distribution, the snapshot is taken. So it shouldn't be too long thereafter when the block producers should be starting to launch the networks. I don't know if it'll be directly after that, but it shouldn't be too long after that. Yep, I can imagine over the next couple of days, people will be wigging out, people will be fudding, and then there's going to probably be a pretty serious attention gathering around people who are serious about EOS in the coming days. At least that's what I believe. We'll see if I'm right or wrong, but I honestly don't see how I'm wrong on this one. Or Tinder versus Snapchat. I don't know. Maybe that's not even correct. I don't even have the slightest clue, to be fair with that one. Fair enough. There's another quote, Seth. Yes, there's another quote, buddy. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to step away. I'll be back on here in a little while. I'm going to be on most of the night. Nighttime after my family is done with all their work and getting something to eat and my son's laying down, I'll be awake. Why do you think that those wouldn't be famous quotes? Not now. You're just getting mean. I don't. Good point. All right, I'll be back, guys.